In the last video, I promised that I will let you know how you can actually set up the SPSS file for the variables other than demographic. So I have downloaded this questionnaire, that is Edward Ziegler Yale personality questionnaire, which has been adapted from Ziegler et al. 2002. This is the questionnaire of the personality traits. The one personality trait that I have picked up for the presentation today is about the agreeableness. So we have got like 1, 2, 3 and 4 items, and on the Likert scale of strongly agree, agreed, neutral, disagree and strongly disagree. So I'm going to let you know how you can first set up the SPSS file for this particular variable. So I've got this SPSS file. I've put these two windows of my SPSS sheet and the windows side by side, so that we can actually see what's happening. So there are, as I told you, there are two views in the SPSS sheet. The first view is the data view, the other view is the variable view. We set up our questionnaire in the variable view. So this is the first item that we have. The individual accepts imposed limits. So the individual accepts, we can just call this as, we can just name this first item as agreeable AG1 to represent agreeableness item number 1. And then in the label we can just put this, all of this writing, so that we can use it in the output, as well as we can use it in just in case we just forget what this AG1 stands for or what does it represent. So we just copy this and put it in the label. So now it is here. And the important thing, how we can actually let the SPSS know that what value has been entered by the respondent. So we say that 1 represents strongly disagree. Strongly disagree. So the spelling mistake, strongly disagree, and so here it is, strongly disagree represents 1. You can also represent 5, the value of 5 to represent strongly disagree, but the thing that goes with your mind is 1 should represent strongly disagree. Add, I'm just copy this disagree because I know that 2 is going to represent disagree. Paste and that's added. Now 3 represents neutral. 4 represents agree, and 5 represents strongly agree. So here we have added these 5 options that were given to the respondent to respond at any one of them for this first item. Now picking up the second item. So second item is definitely should be represented with AG, that is agreeableness 2, AG2, and we can just copy this from the questionnaire to the label, because label is something that is very important, and we can just copy these values thing, so that it saves our time, and paste it. So 1 represents strongly disagree, 2 represents disagree, 3 neutral, 4 agree and 5 strongly agree. You should remember all of your Likert scale items should always be like this in your questionnaire. Picking up the third one, that is AG2. Let's call it AG2. Sorry, AG3. And here is my item. Paste and copy and paste, and the last item is 84. Copying this, copy and paste, and then copy. Again, the most important thing, let us save this file. So I'm going to save it. Save. Now it's asking where to save it. Let's just put it here on the desktop, and as I told you earlier, we have to give it the right name. So it is agreeable data or agreeable questionnaire, agreeableness questionnaire. So there we have saved it. Now let's have a look at the view of the data. So AG1, we know it represents agreeableness 1, and you see as I hover my cursor over there, we can see what does that represent. So the individual is a follower, the individual does something because the social customs dictate him or her to do, and AG4 represents the individual does as told. Now our file is set up, it's all okay. Now we just have to enter the data. So for example, we just pick up the questionnaire of the first respondent, and he says that I strongly agree with AG1. So I'm going to write 5. He or she agrees with AG2, 4, because 4 represents agree. And let's say the first respondent is neutral about the third item, and again for the fourth item he or she strongly agrees, so 5. So we have just punched the data of the first respondent. Let's go to the second respondent, and let's suppose that if the second respondent doesn't totally agrees with it, rather he strongly disagrees with it, so 1. And he again strongly agrees with it, disagrees with it, so 1. And disagrees with it, 2. And maybe he is a little bit agree to it, so 4. So in this way we have just entered the data of the responses from the second respondent. So in this way, and we have to save it, in this way we can just make or set up our entire SPSS sheet for all the variables, including demographic variables and all other variables in this way. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I want your feedback in my comment sections. Thank you very much.